Most people won't really live 10 years. They'll live 1 year 10 times, same habits, same excuses, same stories. They repeat the pattern, and then they wonder why nothing changes. You can't call that growth. You can only call it survival. And standing still is not neutral. It's expensive, because while you stand still, the world moves on. Competitors improve, opportunities evolve, and time collects interest on the lessons you refuse to learn. The cost of standing still is invisible at first, but it shows up later as regret. Regret for chances you didn't take, conversations you avoided, skills you never developed. See, next year won't be better just because the calendar changes. January doesn't bring magic. It brings more of what you've been doing. Unless you change what you're doing, change is the only insurance against regret. And here's the good news. You don't have to change everything overnight. You just have to stop standing still. Improvement is not a luxury. It's a responsibility. You owe it to your future self to be better than you are now. Not perfect, just better. The only way to make sure next year rewards you more is to become someone who deserves more. The seed of improvement is awareness. The moment you stop saying someday and start saying this day, life begins to shift. Growth doesn't wait for permission. It starts the moment you decide that comfort is no longer worth the cost. So ask yourself, how many times have you lived the same year? How many times have you promised yourself that things would change, only to drift back into the same patterns? Because the truth is, you don't drift toward success. You drift toward average. Success requires direction. If you want next year to be different, you must decide what needs to be different about you. The marketplace doesn't care about your hopes. It responds to your value, your relationships, your health, your income. All of it reflects who you've become, not what you've wished for. So here's the starting line. Improvement. Improvement in thought. Improvement in discipline. Improvement in focus. Improvement in execution. The good life is not built on luck or timing. It's built on steady, intentional progress. You see, the next 12 months will pass anyway, whether they add to your life or just subtract from it. Depends on what you do with them. Time is not your enemy. It's your amplifier. It multiplies whatever you give it. Wasted time, and it multiplies regret. Invested time, and it multiplies reward. Standing still costs too much. Choose motion. Choose growth. Choose to build a year that rewards effort, not excuses. The clock is running. Make sure it's running towards something worthwhile. So where does it start? Every improvement begins with discipline. Without it, nothing holds together. Ambition fades, plans collapse. Motivation disappears. Discipline is the backbone of progress. Too many people misunderstand it. They think discipline is punishment. It isn't. Discipline is training. It's the bridge between what you want and what you get. It connects desire to result. Every success story is built on that bridge. Discipline starts small. The way you start your morning. The way you spend the first hour of your day. Whether you show up when you said you would. Whether you do the thing you promised yourself to do. After the excitement fades, those small acts, repeated daily, shape a life. I used to believe success required massive effort in short bursts. Work hard for a few weeks, then relax. But I learned that real progress comes from steady consistency, daily disciplines, not occasional heroics. Missing a day doesn't seem like much. Missing a week feels small, but miss a month, and your old habits return to reclaim the ground. You see, discipline asks for payment up front. Comfort collects payment later with interest. Every time you choose the easy path, you make a silent agreement to face harder consequences later. Every time you choose discipline, you buy freedom. freedom from regret, from mediocrity, from dependence. Start with one small commitment. Get up when you say you will. Read 10 pages every day. Save a small portion of your income. Move your body for 20 minutes. The action itself isn't the victory. The habit is. The moment you can trust yourself to follow through, you've built the foundation for every other goal. Discipline is not about controlling everything. It's about mastering yourself enough to make consistent choices that align with your goals. It's the quiet power behind every strong life. Attention is the new currency. Every day, countless distractions compete to withdraw from your mental account. The phone rings, the inbox fills, the mind drifts. Every interruption costs focus, and every bit of lost focus drains momentum. Improvement begins when you start managing attention as carefully as you manage money. You wouldn't hand your wallet to a stranger, yet many hand their focus to anything that flashes. Every wasted hour steals from the future you're trying to build. The key is not to do more, but to do less better. Clarity multiplies results. Confusion divides them. When the mind is divided, effort loses power. A divided effort produces half results, no matter how much energy you spend. Think of a laser and a light bulb. They both use energy, but one cuts through steel, while the other barely lights a room. The difference is focus. Life works the same way. Concentrate your energy on what matters most, and the results become extraordinary. This year, decide what truly deserves your attention. Every yes must have 1,000 silent no's behind it. You can't chase every opportunity. You can't respond to every voice. Every time you say yes to something trivial, you say no to something significant. The world rewards specialists, not generalists. Mastery demands focus. Dabblers stay busy. Professionals stay effective. It's better to master one vital skill than to half learn 20, because focus doesn't just multiply performance. It multiplies time. Here's a truth to remember. Busyness is the enemy of progress. Most people fill their days with tasks that make them feel active, but not effective. The goal is not to stay busy. The goal is to stay productive. Every moment spent reacting to noise is a moment stolen from creation. Guard your mental environment. Begin the day before the world intrudes. Think before you turn on the television. Read before you check. Reflect before you reply. Create before you consume. Control what goes in, and you'll control what comes out. Improvement doesn't come from doing more. It comes from focusing more sharply. Energy scattered on too many fronts produces exhaustion without progress. But energy directed toward one clear aim builds momentum that compounds. Every distraction carries a hidden cost, the delay of your dreams. Each interruption you tolerate stretches the distance between you and your potential. So learn to protect your focus like treasure, because it is. Next year will not reward the most talented. It will reward the most focused. Attention, when properly managed, can transform ordinary effort into extraordinary success. So, before you plan your next year, ask yourself, where has your attention gone? What deserves it? And what doesn't? Improvement requires cutting noise, not adding activity. Success doesn't belong to the one who does the most. It belongs to the one who does the right thing, long enough, without losing sight of the goal. Focus is the multiplier. When you control attention, you control your future.